One of the most pervasive notions about spirituality, especially in the people who actively enter spirituality, is that a sense of impossibility. You enter it with a sense of impossibility. Or you will say, you will exaggerate it, you will exaggerate the difficulty so much that you almost say it is not possible. If I hear anybody talking like that, if anybody gives a talk like that, like for example, they will say, Ramana Maharshi sat in Samadhi, insects came and bit his thighs, they ate his flesh, still he sat like that. They are giving the impression as if he is sitting there withstanding pain. And finally to say, all great people, no, you can't do all that. So people will listen to all these talks. They will just nod their head sideways and go away. So in which way such talks are spiritual or divine? I used to feel angry actually. I used to feel terribly angry in those years. I would feel terribly intense, angry. I would even abuse that person in my mind. What the hell are you talking? If it is impossible, why am I sitting here and listening to you? If it is impossible, I'll go. Why am I wasting my time here? So there is some notion that has spread. Even many popular speakers also speak like this. Many traditional people also speak like this. Many scriptural people speak like this. They will go on giving the sense of impossibility to the listeners. And people think this is devotion. They think this is humility. And some people will even do it openly. They will have many justifications for it. They will say, Shastra says it requires many lifetimes, thousands of lifetimes for that to happen. It will happen when it has to happen, it will happen. See, one thing is, scriptures speak of that as a fact. They may say, okay, evolution has to happen for many lifetimes before the flower blossoms. A lot of things have to happen in the tree before the flower or the fruit comes. That can be told as a fact. But the scriptures also talk about mumukshutva. You should become tivra samvega has to happen. Mumukshutva should come. You should be desperate to break the bondage. But if you talk like this, do you think the desperation and the intensity will come? If you say it will happen in some lifetime, do you think intensity will come? Or if you say it is supposed to happen, that's another related argument is, they will say, it won't happen abruptly like that. It's a very gradual process. It will happen very slowly. See, it may actually happen gradually. I'm not negating that. But that is not your job to think of it. The moment you think of gradualness, it won't even happen. You should be in a hurry. You should be intense for it to happen as quickly as possible. You should never tell it will happen in its own time, gradually. No. The moment you talk like that, it means you don't want it to happen. You're pushing it away further. You're diffusing any intensity that would come. Actually, that's why people do it. If you don't do anything mentally, if you don't justify with all these scriptural statements, without you doing anything, slowly some kind of desperation will start growing in you. Over a few days or weeks or months, it will grow. If you don't do anything with it, it will grow further and it will do what it has to do. But this is where the mind will come and meddle with that intensity, because it starts feeling uncomfortable. More intensity, more suffocation, limitedness you are feeling, that starts feeling uneasy. Finally, it will wake you up. But that waking up feels discomfort. Sleeping looks all right. So immediately thought will come and tell this. It is okay. It will tell using scriptures only. It will tell you using spiritual masters only. So now you are authorized to sleep. Spiritual masters or scriptures themselves tell you it's a gradual process. It will happen in many lifetimes. That means now you have the certificate to comfortably settle down. You don't have to bring up any intensity. So this is the play of that survival instinct. Your mumukshutva comes, and your survival instinct will come and negate it. It will quench, put water on it and extinguish it. Not extinguish it fully, it cannot extinguish it fully. It will snub it to some extent. Then after many days again it will come again something. So this is what happens to many people who come into spirituality also. So this spiritual, whatever school they go to, not everybody I'm saying, in general that's what is happening at large. So whatever the school go to or whatever community they join, it will become another kind of social recreational activity to feel good. Okay, I'm doing something spiritual. Everybody around me is doing something. I'm also doing. Gradually it will happen. In a way, it will work. Do the opposite. Have the opposite impact on you. You would want to sleep somehow settle within you. And then to justify that further, this confusion of gunas will come. Tamas and sattva look similar, extremes look similar, and people will glorify contentment. You have to be content in your life, yeah. Don't burn for anything. Just be content. That is this philosophy will come. Be satisfied. So they will confuse tamas as sattva. So like this logic will come, it will give its own logic, contentment. So this intellectual fouls will happen. Extremes looking similar, I will confuse and I will justify my lukewarmness as contentment. But you carefully look at people who talk of contentment, or even yourself if you have. On the one hand you will talk of contentment, on the other hand you will talk of ambition also. You cannot be content. You cannot mentally be content. It's not possible. Presently we are trying to psychologically do some processing of the concept of contentment, and we are trying to be content. Mind can never be content. We cannot make up contentment by making a philosophy of contentment. That is what mostly they try to do. They are using it as a motivational slogan sometimes. Be content as a mantra. You cannot be content. Nature of the mind is discontent. You have to accept the fact of it and see what can be done for it. I started by telling that there is a tendency in spirituality to portray these things as difficult, impossible almost. And that is a notion you should challenge. Don't go with it. And this is not just me telling. Again, you have to consider the collective state of affairs. In our culture, in every generation, now it might have reduced, I don't know. But it has been recorded in our books, it is there. For so many people it would happen, and they didn't even consider it a big deal at some point. Oh, happened to me? Ah, okay. It's like, today this fellow was killed, it comes in the newspaper, no? It would be like that. It was so normal at one point. It seems especially in Kashi and places like Arunachala, Tiruvannamalai, there used to be many people. Every gully there will be one fellow like that. And it was, when it is like that, obviously people won't think of it like that. The difficulty aspect will go away. So the difficulty aspect, the moment it comes, I used to use the very thing to become intense, because that is the paradox. The difficulty, notion of difficulty, it immediately gives you the notion of distance. It's far off in some way, in time, space. It is at a distance from you, but not in terms of space, not in terms of time, not in terms of knowledge. By gathering knowledge, it's not that you will come there one day. It's not distant in the sense of knowledge. If at all you have to talk in the language of distance, it is distant from you in intensity. The moment voltage increases, you will see it was here only. That's why that sutra is told. Tivra samvegana masanna means if you are very low intensity, it is far off. If your intensity is a little high, it is closer. If your intensity is very, very high, it is very, very close. If intensity hits the peak, it's right here. It's inversely proportional. So you can talk in both ways, but literally it is not at a distance. Finally, it is called as self-realization. I am going to realize what is right here. Presently, there is a deep-rooted tendency in me. I am always trying to reach out. Without my knowledge, I am always doing something, reaching out. Energy is being spent. If that energy is freed, because to reach something which is at no distance from you, you don't need to do something. You just need to stop doing. So, if at all you have to talk in terms of distance, the only valid way to talk of it is intensity. Because if you talk of it like that, immediately it means if I become too intense right now, I will see it right now. It only means that. So it is not distance in terms of space or time. Now the responsibility is on you. So initially what happened to me was only this. Tremendous intensity was mustered because of all these things. If I listen to a lecture where somebody is giving a very pious lecture, spirituality requires tremendous sadhana, I will be terribly angry right there. I will be burning like that. That intensity did something. That anger did something. It is like a explosion happening, not at a particular person, but at this very thing. It may be triggered by somebody, but the anger was like very, very generic. Why is it always told like this? Why spirituality is like that? It's anger on spirituality itself, actually.